Hey everybody, welcome to 5-2 Parenting. We're so glad you could join us today.
Yeah, each week we want to give you one thought and one focus as a parent that'll help you be better parents and raise greater kids that love Jesus.
Yeah, and a lot of it is about being intentional and just doing those little steps each and every day.
So our first thought is about 5 loaves and 2 fish in the story of the Bible. There was a multitude, thousands of people, and they were hungry, and the disciples thought they should all go away, but Jesus said to bring whatever the disciples had, and he would use it to feed thousands. And there was one boy with 5 loaves, 2 fish. And that little boy gave that to Jesus, and Jesus multiplied it and fed everybody. Well, what we've seen in our parenting over the years is that you never feel like you have enough as a parent. Not enough time, not enough wisdom, not enough focus. Yeah, energy, that's right. And so we have to take what we have and give it to Jesus, and Jesus can feed the hunger in our kids, fill them up and satisfy them.
Yeah, so a lot of times in our parenting, we can spend a lot of time being reactive, and sometimes that's how people parent all the time. And so what we found to be much more effective is, instead of reacting, being proactive and taking initiative and just those little acts of showing our kids that we do love them. You know, we know that we love them, but they don't always know that by what we do. So it's those little things that mean a lot to them.
So since we don't have enough time, we tend to take the little time we do have and correct things and keep things running. And what happens is, while that makes sense to us as parents, our kids are constantly needing to be filled with love and affirmation and reminders of the truth of their family and that they're safe and secure, because the world is always taking that from them. So what we want to encourage you to do, and you're going to hear about this every week from us, is we want you to take something, we want you to be a proactive parent. We want you to do something, even if you only got 5 loaves and 2 fish, you're already tired, it's already been a long day. Just do a little something that's proactive, that's not about correcting, that's not about maintaining, but it's about saying, we love you, we love parenting, we believe in you, we want the best for you. No one thinks better of you than we do.
Yeah, and so, and it's going to look different at different stages of life for your children and for you. And so, maybe when the kids are little, it's getting down on the floor and playing with them. Dads, instead of coming home from work and just plopping on the couch to put on the TV, take some time and play with them and wrestle around with them. Be silly, read to them. Those little things really do matter.
That's right. Whether single parent or both parents, you want to take that time to feed the hunger in your kid to be loved, to be believed in. And so one of my favorite 5-2 parenting techniques for my teenagers is, I try to text them more than anybody else. Now, I don't succeed in that, but every day I try to do something that says, I don't have to send this text, but I am thinking about you. I am believing in you. I am praying for you. Here's a scripture today. It's the little things. It's making sure when we come home, we greet them. It's maybe at dinner time, part of the prayer, just saying, God, thank you that I have such great kids and I love them so much. It's the little things about feeding the hunger to be loved in them that can make a tremendous difference in the end.
Yeah, it really does. And I think one thing that, is so much more of an issue now than when we were kids is phones. I would encourage you, put that phone off to the side when you're having dinner. No phones at the table. Just engage in conversation and just really focus on that child. For me, my teenage thing that I like to do is to make sure I say goodnight to all of my kids, whether they're a teenager closed up in their room. Obviously when they're little, it's a lot easier. You're giving all the hugs and kisses and praying before bed. When they're teenagers and they're studying and staying up later than you, then you have to make that conscious effort to go knock on that door and go in, give them a hug and say goodnight and love them.
Right. So this week, we want to challenge you every day. Find at least one moment, one action, one word, one expression that says, I love you, I believe in you, I love being your parent. I love who you are and who you're becoming. If you'll do that every day this week, you're going to find that Jesus multiplies that and does something very special with it. So that's the goal for this week, one action every day that's proactive. And then we always want to leave you with one scripture to be thinking about. And this week, we want it to be Isaiah 1:19. It says, if you are willing and obedient, you will eat from the best of the land. It doesn't say if you're perfect, if you know what you're doing, if you got enough time. It just says if you're willing and obedient to do what God shows you to do. And as a parent, we found this to be true. We were never perfect. We never had enough time, enough wisdom, but we were willing and obedient. And I tell you what, God blessed it. And we get to look at kids that are like, man, I mean, who raised those kids? Because it certainly wasn't us.
Yeah. And I'm so thankful for that
Yeah.
God puts that in there, that we just have to be willing and obedient. And I know just by you watching this, that means you're willing.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
so, way to go.
right.
And it's going to be great. We're going to be on this little adventure together, just trying some little things each and every day to go make that difference.
That's right. Now we're going to go a little over 5 minutes right now just because we got to give you a few details. So if you'll subscribe to this channel, every Monday we're putting this new thought out. And then under the comment section, you can write a question about how you are trying to live this out. And on Friday, we'll post another 5-minute video that tells you some of our thoughts about your questions. You can also email us at 52parenting, spell it out, 52parenting@gmail.com. And for the subscription list, we'll definitely be praying for you. And we look forward to answering your questions and see how you're living this out and talking to you again on Friday.
Yeah, we can't wait to hear all about it.
That's great. So that's the 5-2. Go be great parents. Bye.
Bye.